hardest part of waking up is Folgers and makeup. I did have better coffee, but it's in whole bean form, and I didn't want to try to grind that coffee while my husband is asleep. Oh, well, I have a bit of a gloomy opening to this video. So my 7 weeks of consistency that I was so proud of, hang on, let me find something to prop my arm on. Sorry about all these chickens back there. Yeah, 7 weeks of running consistency. We just got done with that. It was awesome. But now I already have an injury. And it's a chronic thing that has flared up in the past, so it's not like a surprise or anything. But I looked it up, and I've been working with Chat, and Chat seems to think it's like high hamstring or proximal hamstring tendinopathy, which I did see a PT for this once, and I kind of do remember those terms. I should have like written it down somewhere, because yeah, I should actually know what this is by now, but from all the symptoms and what it was saying about it, it sounds accurate. So, which basically means that the tendon between your sit bone and the hamstring, you know, the hamstring tendon that goes to your knee is excuse me, is inflamed and irritated and basically just overworked. Which is really kind of a bummer, because I was trying so hard and I was like lowering my paces. I was running really slow on purpose for this reason. And then the first week that I was able to get 2 strength training sessions in, it acts up like really bad. Yesterday, after my long run of 3.5 miles, which is the longest distance we've gone in the 7 weeks, granted. But it was already kind of niggling before the run. So it acted up really bad, and then I did deadlifts on Thursday and the Bulgarian split squats. Like, remember in that video, the last one I posted, where I was walking up that little tiny hill and I was going, oh boy, yeah, my legs. Well, it was mostly because of the right leg. That's where it's at. So I'm going to put this on a tripod so I can show you kind of what I'm talking about. And if there's any runners out there or anybody that's active that has this problem, let me know what you've done to help it, because I'm trying basically all you can really do. I tried a heating pad yesterday. I haven't tried ice, but it's already kind of feeling a little bit better, so I probably don't want to ice it right now. But I'll continue with the heating pad, and all you can do really is rest, because tendons don't really get as much blood flow, and so they heal a lot slower. So that's why I have to really be careful and stay on top of this now, because if I don't, it's going to sideline me for like 2 or 3 months. So, okay, let me show you what's going on. Okay, I had to drop the camera down, but let me show you where the pain is, in case there's any PTs or anybody watching that knows kind of what I'm talking about. Okay, so it starts like, kind of like deep in the glute. I don't know if you can hear me if I'm standing way back here. I still don't have a microphone. But it starts deep in the glute, like right around here, and then it's definitely pain like in the crease right there, and then it goes down, and then kind of like on the inside of the hamstring a little bit. And so it's just like every time I walk, there's this like deep pain in the glute. So it's kind of like where the sit bone is, you know, and it feels like the kind of thing that you want to stretch and massage deeply, but I guess you're not supposed to. So I've not been doing that. Yeah, so I may be sidelined for a whole week. We'll see. Chat suggested to wait 4 days and reassess on the 4th day. And it's already getting a little bit better than yesterday. I took a couple ibuprofen and, you know, I'm not gonna, whoa, my foot slipped. I'm not going to do any kind of exercise for a few days at all. And even minimal walking, and you're not supposed to sit on it because your sit bone stretches out the tendon and presses on it, and it doesn't like that. So probably be laying in bed or something. Yeah, so that's the update on that. Bummer. But it's really got me down because, you know, I've tried so hard to just not have this happen, and no matter what I do, whenever I increase mileage of over like about a 5K, it tends to act up. So nothing we can do, and especially at 42, you gotta be really careful. But it does make me think, you know, am I ever gonna get to those higher distances now? Especially with weight training? I don't know. Honey, what are you barking at? She just barked for no reason. Hi, Honey Bill. She followed me all the way out here to the field. We have this almond orchard right behind us, and it's blooming, and there's spraying and doing all kinds of havoc out there. It's an incredibly still, quiet day, which, despite the weather, is why I kind of wanted to come out here. Oops, I think I was blocking the microphone. Sorry. Yeah, it's supposed to rain later tonight. It's Valentine's Day, by the way. Happy Valentine's Day. We're gonna go to see the little circus that came to town. You know, this year I didn't want to do anything like big and fancy anymore these days. It's hard for me to want to go do like holidays out and like go do something, you know, with crowds around, because I want to enjoy myself, and I don't enjoy myself when there's a bunch of people around, generally speaking. Unless it's like a concert or something and I can kind of stay on the periphery. But like a loud, busy restaurant, I don't know. So we're just gonna get steaks and have them at home. Saves us like $200 too, so that helps. So I think I'll just sit here and chat with you guys for a bit while I drink my Folgers. Oh boy. It's not very good coffee, especially when it's decaf. But I need decaf, so I can't really do caffeine anymore. I feel like, you know, I put you on a tripod, and I'm so used to hand holding the camera, and so like I'm so used to seeing myself at arm's length and knowing that the audio is going to come through at arm's length. Alright, so yesterday at work I was able to play around with some interesting tech gadgets, because I haven't really let you in on this, but I'm working on finding a gimbal thing that I can either attach the phone to, but he also had, and he had one of those, which was actually one of the ones I was considering getting, the Osmo Mobile, and you put your cell phone on it and it steadies everything for like running and walking, you know, so you're not shaking all the time. But he also had this other thing, DJI Pocket 2. It's a gimbal that steadies the camera, but there's a camera already on it, and it's teeny tiny, and so it's like an all-in-one piece of equipment, and shoots like really good video, 4K at least, which, I mean, that's decent. It's probably at least what I'm shooting on now. And that was pretty interesting. So I may end up getting it. It's like $500 or something. But, you know, cameras are always an investment. I had my expensive photography cameras that I don't even touch anymore, which would give you much better quality, but it's just way too much of a hassle. And I don't have a tripod that supports them anymore because it got stolen. I had a really nice tripod, but that went out the window from our mini storage years ago. So I'm trying to see what I want to do with the whole tech side of things. The first thing I need to do though is get a microphone so I can hold you farther out without losing the audio. Yeah, so that was fun. I actually got paid to play with some tech by helping this guy, because I was having to show his girlfriend, I don't think they're married, but they've been a long time girlfriend, who's Chinese, like how to use things, and so that was fun. So there might be some upgrades to the Invictaland production side of things at some point here. But one thing that stood out to me was there is so much, like, I'm not a techie person. Back when I was really into photography, I kind of had to keep up with it better. But since I've sort of let that go, and that was years and years ago, like a decade or more ago, things have really advanced a lot, and I'm just kind of intimidated. Like, now I really understand, like, how old people how old people feel when technology changes, and then they're like, what? I don't know what to do, and, you know, they're all lost. And I kind of feel that way around cell phones, cameras of any sort, and then all the accompanying accessories that go with them. So that's been part of why I haven't upgraded my system yet, is because there's so many options and it's overwhelming, and it's hard to know what's really going to be the best thing for you in what you're doing. And I think it comes down to having multiple options. But I'm trying not to expand my kit too much, because if I end up doing the car life nomad thing in a compact car, I need spaces at a premium. So I can't like be carting around this whole mobile studio. So that's why I just keep putting it off. And then like all the work that I've done, like caregiving work, is taking up my brain space and time, and I just feel like, and I was stocking away money for savings for the teeth, so I didn't really have the extra funds. But now things are kind of changing a little bit, and I'm starting to look at how I can improve your visuals. And he had like one of those hover drone things with the 8K video, which is like really good quality video. And so I got to play around with that, and that was fun, except like there's no way, and you can put a microphone on yourself and it'll like pick it up and everything, so you don't have like the drone fans. But even there'd be no way to do a video like this with that drone, because the fans, all those rotary fan things that keep it in the air, are so loud. They're so distracting. Like I could only see shooting with that for like atmospheric, like if you're hiking or whatever and you wanted to follow you on the hiking trail, or going up and shooting a whole panorama of the area, like scenic shots, you know, not walkie-talkie stuff or stuff like this. It would be completely not the right tool. Yeah. Sorry, I had to ramble about tech for a while, because it's been on my mind. It's very, like, what you have really limits what you can do. And I know that from the photography days. So it's very important to make the right decisions about the type of tech that you let into your life, because it shapes your creativity. Because you're like, oh, well, you know, I can get this shot with this thing and this shot with that thing, and starts getting into your head, you know. And right now, like, I did that whole 7-week car camping trip just hand holding a cell phone, and it was fun because it's easy. And if you start adding a bunch of different tech, it's kind of like you're just fumbling around with your devices. So it's a dangerous topic to get into. Hi, hen. Oh my. What? Look at how many eggs are in here. Oh my god. Everybody's laying in one nesting spot. Holy cow. Huh. Thanks, hens. Need a bath today, honey. You're so dirty. You're so dirty. Oh, wiggler. Whoop. Off she goes. Speaking of tech and chickens, I promised you I would find a better place to mount my camera in my car, and that's just what I'm gonna do right now. Yep. Okay. Well, so I've looked at all the different spots, and it turns out that right above the fan is the only place I can really put this. So you're gonna get kind of a similar angle, and then if I flip it around, you can get that, more or less. What do you think? Will that suffice? And I forgot it has this extra vent piece, which potentially I could put here, but then, whoa, that would be your view. That wouldn't be half bad, right there. What do you think about that? And then you wouldn't have any view of the outside. Really, I mean, that's not a very good shot. But it would be kind of cool for that. Okay, I think I'll put that piece there at the very least. Yay! Wow! I actually installed it. The vent one, the other vent one. Wow, okay. Look at that nice lighting from the window. That's cute, right? That's not half bad. The other one I think is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. These things, I'm always afraid they're just gonna, they always pop off, especially in the heat. So we'll see how it does and how long it lasts, but at least we got one thing. That's fun. You going to the circus?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're going to the circus.
Whee!
Whee!
There it is, the circus. Whee! Alright, here we go. Rastelli's circus. Whee!
good for a very miniature circus.
Yep. The stilts on the high wire.
Yep.
That was cool.
Shooting a bow with their feet.
Yep. And Rosemary the chicken.
Rosemary the circus chicken.
Very cool.